there and welcome back to Don't Open That Door. Come along with our triumvirate of terror as we descend into darkness, hurtle into horror, and plunge into peril. If you think free shit is a plot to get you, you're in the right place. I'm Justin, and I would definitely abscond with a lady in a movie theater.
I'm Nico, and if the demons in Demon's Souls were anything like this, that game would have been way fucking funnier.
I'm Dan, and don't forget to silence your cell phones, or Mr. T will come fuck you up.
And we're here today to review Demons from 1985, otherwise known as Demoni. This was directed by Lamberto Bava, starring Urbano Barberini as George, Natasha Hovey as Cheryl, Carl Zinni as Ken, Fiore Argento, no relation, or is there, as Hannah, and Paola Cozzo as Kathy. All right, so we open in Berlin with your girl Cheryl. A weird dude pops up in a mask, and he offers her some free tickets to go see this movie, basically. She thinks about it, and then she gets another ticket, essentially, for her girl Kathy. She brings it up to her, and the pair decide to go. Cool. So at the movie theater, there are a bunch of people, but the really important ones here are George and Ken. They're two guys who basically like the look of Kathy and Cheryl, so they sit down next to him and try to spit some game. Surprisingly, it works. Also important, there's a guy who I'm roughly 97.2% sure is a pimp, and he walks in with two female coworkers. One of the coworkers puts on this creepy fucking mask that's part of a display and cuts herself. That'll be really important in just a bit. That bit is now. Nico, what happens next?
Unfortunately, not a JoJo's plot like I thought it was going to be for a brief 10 minutes into this movie. But the movie within the movie starts, and George and Ken cozy up with Kathy and Cheryl. The movie is about a group of people who find a mask that Nostradamus, yep, that dude, says will turn people into demons. It happens in the movie. This movie, by the way, is just like foreshadowing as a bit, in case you hadn't caught on yet, because it happens in real life as the aforementioned female coworker turns into a demon and attacks her other coworker who goes to the bathroom to check on her, which turns her into a demon at that point. Apparently, if you get cut, bit, or scratched by a demon, you turn into one in a couple of minutes, and it looks like some real, like, Adult Swim mixed with Dr. Pimple Popper shit in the worst way possible. And at this point, all hell breaks loose, and the demons attack the theater goers, who all leave the auditorium and try to escape.
Well, they thought they had a plan, except they can't. You see, the main entrance is blocked, and so the crowd doesn't know what to do. Some wise soul then suggests that the movie's doing this to them, so everyone goes to smash up the projectors, which predictably does jack shit. Then they all decide to go down to the auditorium and barricade themselves in and wait for help. While all this is happening, there are some young punks driving around doing a bunch of coke, and they basically show up outside the theater. So they hear noises coming from within, and they manage to enter the theater, but they run afoul of the demons. The theater goers then hear the punks and tear down the barricades thinking they are saved, but they aren't. They're the opposite, which is fucked. For more on this, we go to Dan.
Quite fucked, actually. Because now demons murderate everybody, except for George, Ken, and Cheryl.
They in the DMV
Ken gets
now.
scratched and... What?
I said they're in the DMV now.
Oh, hell yeah. Balmer. We're in Balmer. Ken gets scratched, and he hands George a katana and begs George to kill him. George obliges. Then, he and Cheryl, I shit you not, get on a motorcycle, and George drives around with the katana, fucking up a whole bunch of demons. George gets scratched. Then, in a scene that would make Resident Evil proud, a goddamn helicopter falls through the ceiling, so George and Cheryl use a very handy winch to get out. The masked dude from before is there as well, but George and Cheryl manage to kill him and escape. They make it onto the street where they can hear the sounds of chaos and gunshots because the demon plague has begun to spread. George and Cheryl are picked up by a somehow very well-armed family in a Jeep, and they all head west, where hopefully they can start a new life. The credits begin to roll. Nope, just kidding.
Oh, shit.
Just then, Cheryl turns into a demon.
Oh,
But
no!
The kid in the family is really fucking handy with a shotgun and shoots the living shit out of her,
With a
sending her
quickness.
for real, sending her body to the road.
Her butter.
Now it's really over. Das Ende.
It's over.
That's a good ass song, bro. 15 years later and you still remember it, bro.
Yeah.
All right. So we got to go ahead and we got to take this one from the top. So how does this movie look, Nico?
Yeah, the soundtrack's fun, Justin.
Let's try that one again. How does this movie look, Nico?
Yeah, no, like I said, it sounds kind of fun. And it's, you know, just like always a vibrant soundtrack that just, this movie looks bad, dude. This movie looks some butt. It looks like really washed out, and it has a really just dire, grim color palette that doesn't look very good. Part of this one hasn't aged well, but I will say, for what it's worth, the gore was interestingly done, but honestly, between the set all looking really samey most of the time, making it kind of hard to follow what was happening, I really didn't like how this looked.
So, Dan, how does the movie look to you?
I thought it looked good. I mean, the shit is like clearly 80s. It's very like kind of like over the top gory. And it was yet again another movie that I really should not have watched at work. On my lunch
Bruh.
but I continued to do this to myself.
You gotta stop doing
and
this.
it was entertaining to watch at work. But there's definitely some pretty violent, gory parts, people getting their throats ripped open and shit. And some kind of like gross stuff too, is like they start changing and like the demons vomiting green liquid shit. I don't know, chlorophyll.
There's a lot of teeth in this one too,
Yeah, now that I think about it, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Troll 2.
but not as good.
Yeah. Well, I actually really like the way this movie looked, to be honest. I thought that the setting and a lot of the design just screamed 80s to me, which I liked. I enjoyed a lot of the practical effects in it as well. And I think some of the visuals are just, I mean, when you get him riding on the motorcycle with a katana, like fucking up demons, I'm like, all right, we have clearly gotten wherever we needed to go. We're here. And I liked it for that. Now, in terms of the soundtrack, I will say definitely a pretty heavy metal influence on the soundtrack, for sure. And get it? See what I did there? Heavy metal and heavy metal. But no, I quite enjoyed it, and I thought the soundtrack was bumping, to be honest. How about you two?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I said before, I was trying to not lament about my take on the visuals. I really did dig the soundtrack. I thought it was a lot of fun, especially at the beginning and the end when there was a lot more just like upbeat kind of almost industrial synthy bits that were fun.
True enough. So,
yeah, I mean, soundtrack bumps. It's also, composer was also Claudio of the not metal shit, was Claudio Simonetti, who also did Suspiria. So,
yeah,
Okay.
well, there you go. Well, speaking of, there's one thing that I did want to mention to any listeners, which is similar to Suspiria. This movie had people who spoke different languages. So it kind of seemed like, to get over all of that, people just spoke whatever they would speak, and then it was dubbed over. Like everything was dubbed over. Even the people who were very clearly speaking English, they too were dubbed over. So just something to keep in mind, a little quirk, if you will. Now, Dario Argento, while not directing this, he was part of it. He helped write some of it too, I believe. Do we see any elements of his kind of style in this movie at all, do you think?
I mean, there was a whole lot of red, but I don't know if I can say that that is a necessarily signature style for him.
How about you, Dan?
yeah, I don't know that I really know. I mean, I think the only thing I've seen from him is Suspiria, so I don't, you know,
Yeah.
it's not enough to like comment on his whole style. And I didn't really, you know, Suspiria has a lot of colors, and this movie didn't really have that kind of vibrant shock of color that Suspiria did, I think.
Yeah.
I would probably agree with the two of you. I think his movie had a ton of red, and I think maybe one time there was like a different color, but
It was mostly like brown and red, but like mushy.
there was a scene where I think her name might have been one of the coworkers. She was like still turning into a demon, I think, and she was trying to find her way through a bunch of different like theater kind of like curtains or something like that.
Yeah.
I thought that had some, I think, Argento to it, but Aside from that, not really too much, I
Agreed.
think. Now ends the technical and rational discussion of this movie, and we dive into now where this movie may have taken a left turn and went wrong. So, first things first. It seemed at the start of this movie like there was going to be some kind of like additional plot point of like this being a setup, maybe some cultists involved. Like there was one chick who was like a movie attendant. She had a really knowing look, but except she doesn't fucking do anything. And the guy with the mask, he shows up at the end real quick, but he doesn't do anything either. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that was like a drop plot point? Like, how do you feel about it?
I am mostly just confused because I wish that the movie was instead about that weird motherfucker with that like digital looking mask. I think it would have been a better movie.
Okay. Dan, how about you?
Yeah, I kind of wish there was a little more of that because I couldn't quite tell if that was supposed to be like a red herring kind of thing or just they forgot. And it kind of seems like they just like forgot to follow up with that plot point. But I don't know. I was expecting like when he comes back, when the masked dude comes back at the end, I was expecting like more of a confrontation or something. And no, they kill him in, I don't know, 30 seconds maybe.
Yeah, literally, yes.
Something like that, yeah.
So, I have a surprise for you guys.
Oh no.
We thought this was one kind of movie, but secretly, we were watching a zombie movie like the whole fucking time, apparently. Because aside from how the starter chick was turned into a demon, which was by getting cut by the mask, basically, you just kind of get attacked by a demon and you turn into a demon yourself, which kind of draws some pretty insane parallels with zombies. I mean, quite literally, this kind of sort of becomes a zombie movie at the very end. So, how'd you guys feel about that?
Yeah, I feel like the movie would have been better titled as just zombies, honestly. You could have kept literally everything, but just call it zombies. And it would have been more cohesive, IMO.
Yeah, I kind of wish that there was more demon stuff in there. It's the only time I'll ever say that. But I don't know, it put the wrong kind of expectation forward to me. I was expecting more like dark magic or lore or whatever, and really you're right, it's just zombies. They act like zombies too,
They do.
sort of shambling and one track mind. They're not intelligent. They vomit all over people.
And it's like not really anything like demons that we've seen.
Right.
It's like to make a similar sort of metaphor for what the expectation was that I think we both had going in. It would be like if we were recommended Color Out of Space before, doing this podcast, and suddenly we would watch it and it was in black and white. It was just like, wait, what the fuck is this? I don't understand. Like akin to where is the color? I was just most of the movie like, wait, what? Demons, where are you? I would like more of them, please.
So I'll actually talk about that because there was literally one part that I am going to bring up again, but hold that for right now because we have something else to talk about. Another kind of sort of plot hole almost. So at the end of the movie, like Dan said so eloquently, we know that Cheryl turns into a demon at the very end.
Yeah.
Except I never saw her get bit. But then we have George, who very clearly was scratched by a demon. He screams, "Oh!" And then like his arm is bloody and everything.
Yeah.
And he's fine. Like Cheryl changes and he just doesn't. So given that we've pretty much saw people change almost instantly, I mean, George's bro Ken, he was cut and then he was like, "No, I don't want you to see me like this." And then he changed in like 2 minutes?
Yeah.
And
If
like
that.
George was driving around on his motorbike, climbing up a helicopter winch, fighting off a dude in a mask, going back down, having a conversation. Like clearly the time had already elapsed for him to become a demon after getting scratched. And yet he didn't turn into one. What do we think about that? Is this something where maybe he's immune to it? Or is this just, I think they forgot?
I dead ass think they forgot, and like I know there's a sequel to it, but I would be willing to bet money that they don't address it.
Yeah, again, I think that's another one where they just fucked up. I mean, there doesn't seem to be any thought behind why he didn't turn into a demon. Like, he just didn't because plot armor. I don't know. He transferred the demon over to Cheryl, I guess, because I don't think we ever see her
No.
get hit.
No.
So, like, it felt weird.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I want to pose this kind of last question here to you. I'm going to start with you, Dan. So, those punks that we saw, the movie spends a little bit of time with them, and it almost feels like they're going to be doing something important because they are shown as kind of cuts from the action. Like they're driving around, they're doing coke out of a coke container, which I thought was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan, did these punks have a point?
Nope,
Wow.
not at
Just-
all.
Just like that, huh?
I thought they were being built up to be like kind of like semi badasses,
Yeah.
and even when they get guns somehow. I don't fucking know how they get guns.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden they
Yeah.
start shooting demons. I was like, what the fuck? Or like this one dude, one of the punks is this girl, and she's got like a leather jacket or like a jean jacket or whatever that's like kind of exposed a little bit of her
Mhm.
titties a little bit. But like one of the dudes takes like a razor blade and
Yeah.
like is like cleaning up coke off of her titty or whatever. And I'm kind of like, all right, I feel like you're about to be a badass or something. No, you just walk in and die. I don't know. Like,
Oh
what-
shit.
I don't know what the point of this is.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I feel like you could have taken those people out of the movie and nothing would change.
Yeah.
No, literally nothing would change because I thought maybe the punks were going to give them a way out, but no, the way out was when the helicopter comes down through the ceiling.
Yeah,
So-
see, like
Mhm.
that's what I mean when I say like a lot of things just happen in this movie. It doesn't seem that there's any sort of like common thread of logic, and so much as a lot of it is circumstantial.
Yeah.
I see that. But now I want to talk through favorite scenes. So, Nico, do you have a favorite scene in this movie? One that filled you with joy?
Nope, I don't.
I do. I do. I have a favorite scene,
Okay.
which we've already talked about, but
Oh, which one is that?
it's the scene where Ken is like, kill me. And he gives George a fucking katana. And as soon as he does that, I'm like, oh, shit's about to go down. It's about to get real. So then Cheryl runs away. The next thing we know, George is fucking riding this motorbike on top of the seats of the movie theater. Like,
Yeah.
like he somehow like jumps up on the seats and he's riding them. And then like as he's driving, he's slashing demons left and right. And I'm like, oh shit, this is the badass part that I thought the punks were gonna do or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
I
like,
know
we
that
get
was
there,
my favorite scene
shit's
too.
dope.
Yeah.
Shit's dope. We're listening to some like metal, like hair metal shit. I'm like, hell yeah, this is dope. And then they start getting like mildly fucked up. Like he gets hit and you're like, oh no. And then a fucking helicopter crashes through the ceiling. And I was like, yo, this is great. And then it's just kind of goes back to being But like,
Yeah.
like that whole like, I don't know, 5 minutes, that was a really quality 5 minutes.
It was. It was. And did you see even Nico's hating ass said he liked that scene?
Yeah.
Now, my favorite scene is surprisingly the one scene with an actual demon. Yeah, remember that? Kathy turns, but then a fucking demon comes out of her back.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Wow. Yeah. I also completely
A
forgot
whole
about that.
ass another demon, a whole ass like person
Yeah.
rips out of her back.
And I was like, yo, what? Like, that was pretty brutal. But I was also like,
What?
why didn't that happen to anyone else? Wait a second, what? Like, was this the plot that demons would come through the humans? Because that would make sense. And then you'd have like,
Okay, no, they should have called this movie Demon.
well, technically it is. That is its name, Demon.
Mhm.
I shit you not. I shit you not. This movie's called Demons everywhere, but like on the title screen, it's called Demon.
Yeah.
And I guess
Yeah.
they didn't lie. I guess they really didn't lie.
I feel dumber for having watched this movie.
Well, don't turn off yet because it's time for the What Would You Do? And oh boy, oh boy. So I have two different scenarios here. So first off, let's say DOTD, we're doing our due diligence here, going to go see a movie. And there's some weird dude in a mask is like, yo, you guys trying to go see this movie? It's like a horror movie, dog. Take some free tickets, you know what I mean?
Nope.
Are you accepting free tickets or no?
Hell no.
I would ask about the movie first,
Hey, yeah, you know what I mean?
because
It's-
like maybe.
all right, let's say it's like he builds it up to be like this dope ass movie, and no one knows about it yet, so they're like screening it right now for audiences.
Bro, I walk down the streets of Boo Bork
Okay,
and I run into this kind of shit all the time of people trying to give you like tickets or CDs or some shit. Fuck no.
Okay.
Fair enough. But if this is like some Sundance type shit, then maybe.
Okay.
P.S. AO Sundance, take us out.
Hey, it is at the theater.
Theatry.
I will say, from my perspective, I might accept it. Like, I at least look it over, read it first, see what's really good. Maybe not in like Bubork, but like in my area where I'm at.
In Virginia.
In where?
In Virginia.
Nah, bro, I'm in the BMV. I don't know what you're talking about.
Shut the fuck up.
But
No, it would be DMB.
no, I'm in the BMV.
Or would it be BBB? Would you have to replace all the
Fuck,
letters?
it would be the BBB.
You're right about
That's
that.
right.
You're right about that. Yeah, longtime listeners are probably tired of that gag, but we'll never stop. So,
Nope.
so that being said, we're there at the theater, and let's say someone, not one of us, cuts their mask on the demon, and all of a sudden demons start popping out. What's your go-to? Like, what do? Are you just like, yo, we got to fuck up these demons, or what's your plot?
I mean, I'd probably ask for a Band-Aid first. Real talk.
What?
Like, maybe some, like, first aid, antibacterial shit. Make sure your body's safe before you go fight off some demons.
But you're fine. Like, you haven't been cut or bit or anything.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Preemptive first aid.
yeah.
Say Resident Evil, bro.
Okay, never
Well,
mind.
don't know,
I
it's a
mean,
helicopter. So
It's true.
yeah, I just try and fucking leave, man.
Okay, so you'd focus on finding an exit. Dan, how about you?
yeah, first I would try to leave, and when it's blocked off, I would not try to rip out all the seats because that sounds difficult.
Dumb fucking idea.
Fight or flight, right? So I would
Yeah.
try to flight, and if I couldn't flight, I would fight.
See, this is where they fucked up. They would have been completely okay if they'd fought the demons from the start.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I will say they are not threatening, like, at all.
the threat is in numbers.
They slowly lumber, and it's awkward and, like, poorly timed. Like, there was one scene where they're in a basement with this one that was just, like, very slowly, just like, lurching back and forth between these two different people. And it was like some sort of, I don't know, Babby's first little mini game in Mario Party where it's like, dodge the monster. Ready, go.
I mean, to be fair, we do see them chase a motorcycle and like move with some kind of agility.
I don't think it's chase so much as they are in the room with the motorcycle that is being driven around them.
There's one dude who literally like goes jumping after the motorcycle and shit.
I mean, that's one in how many other demons?
I'm just saying. But
They're
no,
not like trained to Bazan
no.
zombies.
I
Fucking
feel like they
running.
occupy a medium. They're not Night of the Living Dead, but they're not trained to Busan. They're like,
They're much closer to Night of the Living Dead, though.
I don't know about that. Those are some real lurchers in that one.
That's another one we got to review.
Yeah. But I will say I'd probably fight, take a chair, beat somebody with a chair, like I'm playing fucking Yakuza. Or I'm sorry, like a dragon. But
Yeah.
yeah, so there's that. Now, second piece, we escape. And let's say demons are taking over everywhere. Where do you go to? Where's your escape plan?
Church.
So I thought about this during the movie.
Right.
I would just wherever. Wait. Well, I guess this takes place in Berlin. I was thinking
Yes.
America for some reason. I don't know.
Well,
but
let's say it happened in America. What would you do?
yeah. I would just.
Go to Waffle House.
No, that's the first place to go.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. That's the last place I would go. I feel like Waffle House would be a
No,
shit
bro,
show.
they're the ones who are like the most fucking prepared for like natural
Well,
disasters and shit. They
yeah.
could probably take these dumb lumbering fucking idiots.
Yeah.
They got like knives and hot oil and shit. And plus, get you a waffle.
I would just fucking keep driving and keep driving and keep driving until I get to a place that's like kind of safe, and then I would keep driving. And then if I can, I would take a nap. And then I would just keep driving.
That has a pattern
And
of
then-
working well for you at this traditionally.
Yep. And if where I lived was strategically located and I think I could sneak in and out of my apartment or house or whatever without getting caught, I would sneak in, grab a passport, and then I would just get back and keep driving until I get to the airport. And then I would fly to a different country, and then I would just keep driving. That would be my plan.
Well, all right. So Dan is going to go with the approach of if I don't stop moving, they can't get me.
Yep.
See, I would probably go with the well-to-reason approach of I'm going to just go chill out in like nature or the mountains or something, because they're not gonna fucking get me out there. Like, you'd see one of them coming.
Bro, they got helicopters.
No, they don't.
True.
They clearly don't.
Oh, well, I guess they don't. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Because I mean, stuff like that is always the biggest threat in like city centers and cities and stuff like that, where like you have no choice but to be around other people. But if you get any place where you get some space, I think you'd be okay. Particularly, this is America.
No, it's Berica.
No, that's okay. This could be America. So
Okay.
we would have our I have my rifle, I have my shotgun, my hidden pistol, my cutlass, everything I need, bro.
Rifle. Pistol.
Butlass.
That's something else. That's something else entirely. But if this episode feels short to you, it is short because there wasn't really much to talk about. But now it's time for the critic review. Oh boy, I've been waiting for this one. So, where do you guys think this is rated at on Rotten Tomatoes by the critics?
25.
You are a fucking hater. My God. You okay, bro? You I know
I'm
you take a
good.
lot of salt with your food, but I feel like you've been taking extra salt. What's really good? What's really good with
Not
your hate?
this movie.
My God, you a hater. You a hater in the building. It's been a minute. But you said 25. Dan, where you at?
46.
Well, you're both wrong. It's at a 64%. From the critics, audience was
Just
right
flip
there.
mine and it's there.
Yeah.
Audience was right there with them. 65. So I want to know what your thoughts are. Why don't you go ahead and tell me what you think of the movie and the number you'd give it? And I feel like we should start with the least surprising number, which is going to be Nico. Nico, what you think about this film?
I'm gonna give this a 30. I really didn't like this very much at all. There was a brief moment of joy with the motorcycle scene, but the rest of it I found just not up to par with a lot of other movies we've seen around this time. So just this one didn't gel with me.
All right. Dan, how about you?
I'm right there with the audience, 65. I know half of this episode we just bitched and moaned about the plot that makes absolutely no sense. But I thought it was still kind of entertaining and fun to watch and a good time. So if you turn your brain off and watch it, I think it's fun, you know. So 65.
All right. And for the record, I am going to say, I'm going to challenge you, Nico. I will say this much. I feel like you're being kind of harsh. Because I'm going to say that you're typically the guy who's like, hey, turn your brain off. It's somewhat enjoyable. I feel like
Yeah, no, this just one wasn't as fun as those.
I feel like you're being kind of harsh. I feel like give it a couple months, give it a rewatch, and you might look upon it more fondly. You might look upon it more fondly. I feel like you might. I don't know. But for me, I'm actually going to give this one a 70. I think that this one, bruh, I think this one is literally into the definition. This is a popcorn muncher. That's what it is. Literally from, I think, maybe like 10 minutes in, you get people dying, demons attacking. I mean, sure, it's kind of wacky. They don't really make much sense sometimes. But I would much rather watch this. I'd rather watch this on a fucking 10-hour loop. I'd rather watch this every day of my goddamn life than ever have to watch Ghost Stories again. Or
And you don't have to watch Ghost Stories again.
or a lot of shit that people put out. It's like, it's so dramatic, can't you tell? And there's such deep metaphors in the movie.
Midsummer.
Get the
Okay.
get to fuck. Because for me, where I'm sitting at, this was a popcorn muncher. It's not meant to be cerebral, not meant to be too deep, and I'm okay with that. I'm personally okay with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just spare everyone the revelation here that this is not gonna get a recommend from us here on DOTD.
Movie with some butt.
Nico has called it some butt. I think it's fun. But really, I think it's time for the audience to decide. But before I do that, we have a very special, momentous event here. So this is not really going to be applicable to when you're listening to it, dear listener. But just so you can feel like you're part of the experience and feel like you're one of us. Today is Nico's birthday. Yay, round of applause, Dan, give him a round of applause, Nico. Yes, it's Nico's birthday.
Thank you.
And you could have had any gift, but but you chose to be a hating ass bitch. Now I'm playing.
And I'll do it again.
But yeah. So we just wanted to let the audience know it's really good with that. But yeah, so
Appreciate you, bro.
if you want to give Nico some belated birthday wishes or tell him how wrong he is about the movie, or if you too are a hater in the building and you want to tell him he's right, hit us up on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at DOTD Horror. We're also on Facebook under Don't Open That Door. Plus, you can check out everything we've done on our website, which is, of course, dotdhorror.com. But till then, look out for one another. Be careful about getting trapped in movies within movies. And as always, dear listener, don't open that door. Bye.
Yo, why you say everything we've done like you were bussing a nut?
We've done.
Maybe I was. Just like when you have control over all your chakras, maybe you can just like do that at will, son.
Damn.
Somebody
That's
stop
unlocking
recording.
the final
Don't
gate
record.
in-
Why is this still recording? Somebody's